This video is sponsored by Instant Gaming. Get cheap game time as well as other Warcraft products at affordable prices. Click the link in the description below to check it out. Hello guys, this is Doron's Movies, and today I will be talking about the undead and how powerful they are, focusing on the Forsaken and covering their creation, history, culture, and characteristics. So, without further ado, let's get into the lore. For a long time, the undead have existed and very little is known about them. They are beings that have died and are stuck between life and death, which is a very mysterious thing within the Warcraft lore. The Forsaken that we have today are relatively a new creation and are unique compared to some of their counterparts. When Lordaeron fell, most of the population was killed off and raised to support the Lich King and fight for the Scourge. A portion of them managed to break free due to their master getting weaker and losing control. Sylvanas Windrunner, a fallen high elf, seized this opportunity and rebelled. After a major civil war, fighting the Dreadlords and the actual human survivors of Lordaeron, the Forsaken won, taking over the remnants of the fallen kingdom. Soon enough, the capital Undercity was established within the sewer system of the ruins of the capital city. Sylvanas would ally herself with Thrall and the Horde, getting much needed support, as well as offering foothold into the eastern kingdoms. For years, they were a significant part of the faction, playing a role in the various campaigns. Ultimately, Sylvanas would become the actual war chief of the Horde and would lead us to the war that we have now. After losing most of their territory as well as Undercity, the Forsaken still remain and are in a way responsible for the Horde and the future of Azeroth. So, with this quick overview of the lore, how powerful are the Forsaken and what are their characteristics? As a race, they are very diverse, and even though comprised vastly of humans, they also include several other races, such as the Elves. In that manner, their characteristics are similar to what they were in life, just a bit modified. On average, they are 5 to 6 feet tall, so around 170-180 centimeters in height. As mainly skeletons, they're also very scrawny, well, being skeletons, and barely possess any muscle. They bleed green liquid, or sometimes they don't even bleed at all. The skin of the Forsaken is constantly decomposing, sometimes their jaws fall off and their eyes can get really weird, and overall they are what you would expect from a living corpse. So by no means are they large or strong, but their power comes from different sources. Due to the lack of all of this, they are very low maintenance, and this serves them greatly. Even though they can breathe, the Forsaken can go days without air, meaning that it's almost physically impossible for them to drown. They can eat food but have no need for it, and they can also survive without sleep. There is evidence that sleep helps them preserve their bodies, but still, it is not a necessity. As their bodies are essentially dead, they can heal themselves in various ways. The Forsaken can replace their body parts from other beings, eat humanoids, drain life, and use various forms of magic upon their skin. The downside is that they have no ability to regenerate on their own, as most other creatures do. It has been noted that most Forsaken use some type of magic to keep their body in working condition, some form of necromancy, and to ease the deterioration process. Sylvanas Windrunner is one of these users, and she definitely has higher quality necromancy to keep her together. All of these characteristics are extremely useful in combat, as pain doesn't really stop them, and not even the cutting of limbs. You can go as far as decapitating a Forsaken, and even that would not really kill him, as the burning of the remains would be required. There are methods out there that cause true death that the Forsaken use for punishment, mainly for criminals and those who rebel against the Dark Lady. All in all, the majority of the power for the undead does not come from their physical abilities, but their magic as well as mind. As undead creatures, they're resistant to a vast portion of spells as well as mind control, even though the light hurts them more than anything. However, the Forsaken are some of the best warlocks and mages out there. This is partly due to the fact that they're undead, so dangerous magic doesn't really have a huge toll on their body, but also because their mind and lack of empathy or love for life. This mindset leads them to push into more dangerous areas of magic, which are obviously more devastating. In terms of culture, the Forsaken are very unique, seeing that they're not really a race, but a species of artificially created creatures. They don't really have a lot of tradition or this long moral code. There are a few individuals that still continue to follow the light, even though very counterintuitive, but most have turned to dark energies. However, there really isn't a collective religion that binds them all together. In general, the Forsaken are disliked by most other species and sometimes even their allies. A lot of this has to do with how death is seen within their respective cultures and how living dead are just abominations within their culture. It also doesn't help that Forsaken are very non-emphatic as well as hateful. So overall, some of the best magic users on Azeroth, as well as resistant to most things that would hurt or kill living beings. These combinations make Forsaken very powerful. What they lack in physical power, culture and unity, they make up in these attributes. It is also very hard to kill them, and resurrection is possible for the undead, making them very tough opponents. Overall, the Forsaken are relatively a new race, but very unique, different and strong. Alright, and that is all I have for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe as it really helps out and keeps all the content going. Thanks a lot for taking time out of the day to watch this video, and see you next time.